What's up everyone? As you can see behind me, it is time to make some space and clear some stuff out. The DC2 is road legal and running. I don't need all these extra parts. So a little bit of a garage sale or a parking spot sale. Anyway, yeah, let's just run through it. And if you guys need something, hit me up. All right, let's start with the one item everyone's dying for. These taillights. Yes, they're here. Seems like some people out there do like them. One of them has, not this one. They're in actually pretty darn good shape. One of them has a melted outlet or a socket kind of right there, and that's when the bulb got stuck on. It melted that plastic, so that's kind of like the main defect, light scratches or whatever. There is the cracked broken one I just need to probably throw away, but it's still here right now. Next up, we got some 180SX 30mm rear over fenders. They do have some damage and stuff like that. I bought these to test shipping sizes to America. I don't have a 180SX, but yeah, they will ship to America, and it's less than if it was shipping within the country. So if you need some 30mm wide fenders and you don't really care about perfection, here's some good ones for you. Yeah, they are not perfect, but they're cheap, like under $250 or something like that, cheap. Next up is the exhaust that was on the DC2 when I bought it. This is, despite being a canister style, it is quite quiet. It doesn't stick past the bumper, so if you're here in Japan, this should pass shock in. It uses the OEM B pipe here as well. I have no idea what brand it is, but the welds, weld quality here is pretty good. But you can see where it kind of rubbed on the bumper previously to this car, even though it was touching, it just never melted. So there's that on there that should clean up, but yeah, otherwise, like I said, it's unknown maker, but pretty high quality in appearance. So, and if you're wondering where to buy, this will all be posted on nerdgold.jp, the Instagram at nerdgold.jp. I'll have posts for each one of these items here, or just, down below in the comments, just tell me what you're interested in. I'll just link to it later. So yeah, if you're interested in something, either send me a DM on Instagram at nerdgold.jp, or check for the post there, or yeah, let me know down below, and we'll get it, figured out. But anyway, let's get back into it. This one was actually bought for the customer and then decided to go a different route. But this is an Infinity. You can see it marked on it's an OEM Infinity for like a Nissan President or Infinity President, I think. Toolbox, for the rear of the car. It's just missing the screwdrivers and this little wrench here. If that appeals to you, you can get that shipped your way, no problem. We have the old Momo. This again was in the DC2 when I bought it. It is not mint, but it's functional, or if you do restorations on steering wheels, it's probably a good base for that. I think it's like 330, 320 mil, something like that, but good old Momo. And then the blue guy, which you guys will know I do love, I do enjoy it. It looks cool sitting on the shelf behind me. I just have no immediate need for it. It is a deep cone or deep corn style. There's some cracking around the spokes, kind of what happens with these. But clean up, that black spray paint would strip off and you'd be rocking and rolling if you did a little body work or whatever. So these are the OEM DC2 4x100 wheels that came on. Ooh, shit. So these are the OEM DC2 SIRG wheels, or at least this is what was on it when I bought it. I believe these are the OEM wheels. They are 14s. Obviously the tires are shot. They would ship without tires. It is a complete set of 4, and they're all in about this shape. So if you're doing that really super OEM restoration on an SIRG and you need some stock wheels, there's a little scuffage there. Yeah, I got a full set of those. Easy peasy to ship. And following up with more wheels, we got some AVS Model 5s. These are 17x8 plus 30 offset, 5x114. There's 4 of them. Besides being resprayed, this is not damage to the wheel. It's just like chips in the paint. There's just one chunk on one wheel kind of missing right here. This is already posted on my Instagram at nerdgold.jp. These are ready to go. There's no center caps, no bends, no cracks. Good shape beyond, being spray painted and then kind of scuffed up. They would make a really good DIY refresh. And if you wanted surface mill shipping, this would be shipped to you for the full set well under $1,000. So back to some DC2 parts. These are Recaro seat rails for the right hand side, the JDM driver side. These are aftermarket, not OEM, but so you can see it's marked for Honda, DV6, DV8, DC1, DC2, maybe even EG6, I suppose. But yeah, it says base frame, and then there's the product number, stuff like that. I bought these before the OEM seat rails arrived, or I knew I could buy those, so I ended up not needing this. The only thing it might be missing is maybe the bracket for the seat belt mount there. I bought this as well because these are supposed to sit quite a bit lower than the OEM seat rails, but I've been quite pleased with the position I sit with the OEM rails and the Recaros in there now, so I don't think I'll be switching to this anyway just for that driver position. The OEM rails are working out fine for me, but yeah, if you need a right-hand drive Recaro rail, I guess it could be a US passenger side rail, and you can make maybe your the seat belt mount or buy that separately, then yeah, you'll be good to go there. So on the theme of seat rails, we have one more seat rail here, and this is actually a left-hand drive rail, or sorry, left-hand drive seat rail, so USDM driver side, but yeah, it's a left-hand rail, and it's actually a Bride seat rail for originally probably about EG6. It's an old V-type Bride seat rail. It's got the bucket mount, so it says for a full bucket seat. And yeah, this was in the car when I bought it with the full bucket. I have the Recaro in there now on the passenger side, so I don't think I'm gonna be switching to a full bucket, so I don't need it. So yeah, technically you would have a full set for your USDM left-hand drive car if you had like a Bride bucket on the driver's position and then a Recaro semi bucket on the passenger side. I don't know if that can be adapted to work with Bride, but it is for sure it's a Recaro rail, and I don't know if this with here will work with like other brand Recaro or Sparco or something like that bucket seats, but yeah, it'll fit a Bride bucket seat. And then just some collectibles history type thing. These are listed on at nerdgold.jp currently, but I'm going to update it all. If you want a full set of old option DVDs, I think there might be a couple more mixed in here, but these are all from 2005 to like 2007, so like kind of the good years of Japanese drifting where it's really exciting and just, you know, really getting established as like the pro cars come up and stuff like that. Yeah, we got a full, they're not complete, but yeah, a bunch from those years. And then some dealer brochures. You got like a Integra, non-Type R Integra, Skyline GTR, Celica, Cresta, Supra, more Skyline, 180 SX in there as well. And then, yeah, some Hyper Revs for like 86 BRZ, Roadster, and then some old Skyline. This is actually Skyline magazine, or GTR magazine #1. So it's like BNR 32, stuff like that. But yeah, some old, these guys are thick. But yeah, like old tuning shops and, you know, articles and stuff like that. They're just kind of fun to look at. So yeah, I just put those out there because they would ship well with any of these other items, packaging wise and cost wise. If you are like someone who has like a collectibles type e-store and you want some new inventory, let me know. I can bundle all this up and get it shipped off to you. That's no problem as well. And then yeah, of course, like some bulk discounted rate for all that. And so just a note on shipping and shipping costs or whatever, like regardless of what it is, the base shipping weight or cost out of Japan is basically like 3,000 yen or 3,900 depending on what country you're in. That's 500 grams, up to 500 grams, and then there's just weights after that. So you can kind of at least expect that 3,000 or 4,000 yen base price range for shipping on stuff, just to give you an idea. You know, depending on what it is, weight will affect it after that, size will affect it after that. But yeah, as a rule, there is that 500 gram kind of like base cost, so you're going to pay that no matter what. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So this is another customer bought piece that didn't need, they just needed the coin tray that was here. This is for an EK Civic, center console shifter surround, and it's like the dark gray, blue gray, it's gray, whatever, gray color. If you need just that trim piece, it's in pretty good shape. Don't see any major scuffs and stuff like that, but if you need that, just that piece, yeah, let me know, get that shipped off. This is probably trash, but it's a sill molding for the DC2. It's got a crack right there, so kind of not great, but if you desperately need one that's in really mediocre condition, let me know. So we have a steering boss here, and this is for a non-airbag model Integra. It's the 2 spline style. This fit my airbag, so if you go track car and you don't need an airbag, it'll fit that. It worked on this car, but I needed to go back to an airbag, so I had to switch it out. So yeah, just a hub boss, whatever. Could easily combine it with a steering wheel over here, and you'd be set in that regards. Next up, this is kind of a gem. Might help somebody else out there. Mine seems to be working and functioning. This was my spare. I haven't ran AC, so hopefully it does work. But anyway, it's a spare auto climate control for the DC2. You can see the numbers there versus just a hot and cold type fade on it. So this is specific if you have an auto climate control car and your climate stuff has gone bad. You know, this is your climate controls for an auto climate car. I can plug this into my car and make sure it works, make sure, you know, stuff kicks on. before I ship it. But yeah, I bought this in, you know, good working condition, so I don't have a reason to believe it's bad. But yeah, if you do need one of these, let me know. So moving down the line, we have a full dash out of the DC2. This one, if you've watched the series, you know this one's not in great shape. So this would be like a motorsports type install, where if you need to cut it for a cage, it would be great for that because it's not perfect. If you're gonna flock it anyway, then you would have that stuff covered up. So it has those little like taped imperfections from, you know, something in the past. But yeah, my plan if I was to keep it, it would be if I put a cage in the car and I want to chop it. If I need to cut the dash, I would swap back to this and then probably flock it or something. But right now, storage space is more valuable than just holding onto it for that, you know, what if someday scenario. So yeah, if you're in Japan and you need a dash, let me know. I can ship it internationally, but it's probably really not worth it money-wise. I don't know what they go for in your country, you know, based on this condition too. If you need some of these items pulled out, I guess, you know, someone mentioned those are kind of rare. But yeah, I got the cluster surround. That vent is broken, so don't worry about that. We got the underpiece. If you need a flare for your car show points, if you need a flare mounted kick panel, got one of those. And that is the left hand side kick panel. And then yep, the glove box there. There's the little covers for the dash mounting points on the side as well. So not mint, good for motorsports. If you're in Japan, maybe it makes sense. Let me know. All right, and then last up we have the FRP hood that came on the DC2 when I bought it. I went over this in a recent video, but yeah, if you haven't watched that, it's just an OEM replacement FRP hood, so it is quite light. I would have needed to install some hood pins and stuff like that before using on this car. It's not mint. You can see when shredding it on the hood latch, it does flex or whatever, so I'd probably just get rid of that bolt-in style OEM hood latch and just run, you know, bond pins if you're gonna install this. Again, this is probably one for someone here in Japan, and you can see on the corners here, like there's maybe a manufacturing bubble or something. It just needs to be like painted on the underside. It's kind of just weathered and worn. But yeah, shape-wise, it's functional. Again, full motorsports type build, or just, you know, if you're gonna run hood pins or you have hood pins anyway, not a bad option for that. Can't imagine shipping it internationally is worth the money. If you're in Japan and anything shipped within the country, that is no problem as well. I'm in Kanagawa, so if you're military or if you're in the area, I can meet up with you pretty easily. If you're in Okinawa, then yeah, I can ship stuff down there, not a problem as well. So I think that covers it. I basically just really need some storage back. And now like this first chapter, I'm gonna call it season one. Season one, the DC2 is done of getting it road legal and stuff. I kind of have my leftover parts. I know what I don't need anymore. Some of this stuff, it just needs to go and I need the space back. So help me out, buy some stuff. And yeah, and then we'll get it headed off your way. So everything's gonna be posted on the Nerd Gold Instagram at nerdgold.jp. Check it out there for details and prices and stuff like that. Comment below if you want. If you're interested in something, I'll send you a link to it, and we'll get something figured out. So anyway, just a short video, run through the garage sale stuff. Let me know if you're interested in anything. And if you're a new subscriber to the channel, thanks for watching. Some of you have gone back through the old videos of the build and you know, said it was an enjoyable watch. So I'm sure the early videos were kind of rough, but I appreciate you sticking it out. And yeah, we'll do some more fun stuff with the DC2 here in the future. And we'll catch you in the next one. Much love. Be well.